Our other big breaking news, Kent County Corrections officers busted for making and delivering drugs.
In the past few minutes, 24-Hour News 8's Tom Hillen spoke with Sheriff Larry Stelma. He's live now at the jail with some answers on whether the 4 jail officers were actually funneling any of those drugs into the facility. Tom?
Well, Susan and Brian, we know that there are 4 corrections officers from the Kent County Sheriff's Department that have been arrested. The Sheriff's Department was called to the post office back on March 17th with a suspicious package. When teams got there, they determined through an investigation what was actually inside that packaging was something called marijuana butter. Now, the sheriff says they've not made a determination of how large the street value of that was. But again, those 4 corrections officers have been arrested. They were arraigned in court today and were held on a $2,000 bond. Now, we did ask the sheriff about where this investigation is going right now.
Is there any investigation into whether or not that they were funneling this through the jail?
Well, the investigation continues, but at this point in time, there's no indication that it ever entered the premises, was on the premises. There's no indication that it involved any other officers, and there's no indication that it involved any inmates. So at this point in time, it appears that all of the activity was off-site and was involved between these 4 individuals. They've been long-term corrections officers, and yes, they would have worked together and they would be very familiar with each other. Well, it's certainly disappointing, and I'm greatly dismayed that officers would be involved in this type of activity. I think it's disappointing, and I'm dismayed that it really blemishes, tarnishes the badge for anybody. Anybody that wears a badge is tarnished by this type of an activity.
The sheriff talking about their years of service. These 4 corrections officers had anywhere between 20 and 24 years on the department here. The sheriff also wanted to reiterate here time and time again that he does not feel that their actions reflect the department as a whole. Live in Grand Rapids, Tom Hillen, 24-Hour News 8.